Hi guys, this is one of the lights that came off this A class. It's a Hiller 90mm lamp. As you can see, unlucky enough to get a stone chip in. As I mentioned later in the video, managed to pick a replacement up for £48 on Amazon. They were looking at €130 from a dealer, and then fitting, so I would have thought probably getting up towards £300 to fit it. I say hopefully as a DIY job it should only cost me £48 to do this. So this video basically just goes through how I've done it, maybe a bit of use if anybody else ends up in the same problem that needs to replace one of these. So this is one of those Dethleffs, but I'm guessing very similar setup to most A classes that are out there. Excuse the terminology throughout the video. So some of the parts fittings on there, and I think I use talk about screws rather than nuts and bolts a lot, so it was ad hoc in the video as I was doing it, so apologies for that. So don't need to comment me on it, I'm quite well aware of it. So but enjoy the video. So hopefully it'll be a bit of use to you if anything happens in the future. Hopefully not. This is a particular one as a Dethleffs Advantage. A bit of a pig to get out, but managed to get a new light off of Amazon for £48 in the shops, and dealers were over €130, so not a bad compromise. And then trying to fit it myself. Basically the whole unit's held in with 4 screws here and there. It was easier to unscrew the whole mount rather than trying to get the bulb out or the lamp out on its own. So as you can see, it's held in with these little grommet screws, but you need to access behind them to be able to push on these bits to actually release it, because they won't pop out otherwise. So by taking the whole unit out, just unplugging the lights from the circuit, it manages to, certainly on this model, managed to get the whole unit out where you can access the light and replace it. So what I've got to do now is just change it over, make sure the these bits are the same length as the original. I have made a little template of where the light beam was, so I can adjust it on there. On this particular model, it has also got self-leveling lights, which is on here, which just twists on to the bottom using this bit. So once you unclip these 2 lugs, you can actually just twist it out on there. So it should be straightforward now, just to replace it back in and then install it. So when I start to put it back, I'll carry on the video and just show you the bits and pieces from there. May be useful to you, save you a bit of money rather than taking it to a dealer if you're fairly DIY capable. Okay, so another part of it, I've just replaced the push lugs on there. It's got the little grommets on there as well, just to obviously hold them. Probably stop vibration, I guess. I didn't need to change these screw parts, couldn't tell you the technical term, but they were exactly the same length, so they've just come out of the factory and installed. And then to pop it back in, we've got this other one here, which is on the electronic. So as we place it in, it just slides back into that groove on there. So hopefully it'll be a straightforward chop and change, and it should be fairly level again. Okay, on this one I've got these 2, which is using just a normal spline, just from Halfords. These are not required on this particular model because it's got the auto one, so they will just be unscrewed and removed, and then we'll pop it in. That was quite simple. So you can see there on the right, here, the little auto ball joint just slides straight in, and then on this side they just push in on this side, and they've got little clips, which is the bit you can't get at once it's on the van, so you do need to remove this plate to be able to put it on. So this is with the bracket removed. As you can see, there's no way of getting inside of here to actually change it. And if you can see down there, that's the actual lugs that the bracket comes in, so it's just a case of sliding it through back in here, connect it back to the loom, which I think it's got 4 plugs. Some of them got little wire clips that you have to pinch to actually release them, but once you've unscrewed it and laid it flat inside, you can actually access them a lot easier. And the main plate's held in with these 4 screws, which uses a 10mm socket, which I just made up something which I could grab by hand and then just finally tighten it with a small spanner afterwards. So I'll put it back in now. So there it is, back in. It's what I used to do it as a 10mm spanner, just to loosen it off, and then this had a 10mm, quite a deep core, so it could go over the bolt, and then made a bit of a handhold, which I was able to undo it manually on there. As you can see, it's a bit of a tight squeeze in there, but you can see there it is, replaced with the plugs. At the bottom there you've got the 2 screws at the bottom holding it in, and then that 2 at the top as well. Last little thing, just checking the lights. Did this board on here, just basically drew pictures on there so I knew where it was, and like for like it's gone straight back into the original with no adjustment needed on there as yet. I'll try and get up against the wall where it's flat at one point and just double check it. Hope that helps you guys. Bit of a pig of a job, but so if you can fancy a bit of DIY, you should be able to do it yourself quite happily with those spanners. Just take a bit of time.